February, March, April, May, June down to December. God, you've been so good. You've been so good. You've been so good. Count my blessings, name them one by one. You've been so good. I will not forget. I will not forget. I will not forget. You've been my lawyer, shelter, helper, provider, healer, helper, God. I will not forget. I will not forget. I will not forget. You are all I need. You are all I want. Mighty God. January, February, March, April, May, June down to December.
Welcome to Impact Live. My name definitely is Felix Akodazi, and right here we have exciting conversations on ministry. We have exciting conversations on impact that will definitely be a blessing to you. And my guest for today, I actually have observed him from afar. I have seen his videos from a friend and brother of mine, and I've seen his videos around, and I said today I have to have an exclusive with him. And so we're here in his house to have an exclusive time right here on Impact Live. Well, he is in the person of Apostle Frank Nyamekye, and if that name sounds familiar to you, well, today you'll be hearing everything concerning ministry. And as we say here on Impact Live, the reason for this program is for you, the next generation, so that you can be impacted like never before. There are things that you have not heard our great ministers of God say on the pulpit, but right here on this seat you get to hear them speak about them live, so that you get one or two secrets about the prophetic, about the full team ministry that will be a blessing to you. Well, if you're watching us on television, I want to say welcome to you once again, and we want you to head straight to our YouTube channel too, so that you listen to this over and over and over and over again. I tell you, this will be a blessing to you if you go on YouTube to listen to again, even as you're watching us on television. It is IMPACTLIVE, Impact Live, and then you add with Felix Dazi, and then I trust that it will be a blessing to you. Well, I'm talking to a great man today. I told you I'll be introducing him very, very soon, but I want you to take a look at him preaching and ministering, and when we come back, Apostle Frank Nyamekye as my guest for today. Don't go anywhere. We'll be back.
With these wounds, this pain, this blood, have I used to heal sicknesses? Which mean there can be sicknesses, there can be cancer, there can be diabetes, there can be HIV. Do you understand? There can be eye problem, there can be leg problem, but the blood, the pain, the tears, the screams is there to heal every infirmity, every sickness in your blood, in your bones, in your waist, in your womb, in your eye, in your neck. And I speak the blood onto someone. I stretch forth my hand on you right now in the mighty name of Jesus. For the Bible said, I am the Lord who healed your infirmities, who healed your sicknesses. I have seen it over and over and over and over again. And God passing by and going beyond limitations, going beyond hospital reports, going beyond any psychological order, going beyond what men will think to bring healing to people. I decree tonight that any sickness which have been reoccurring.
Saw the video of Apostle Frank Nyamekye ministering the word of God there, and I trust that you have been blessed. Even as a short, I trust you have been blessed. Well, he is the president of Praise Covenant Ministry in Ivory Coast and also in Johannesburg, South Africa. He is the president of International Prophetic Conference, IPC. He's also the CEO of Judah Homes and White Unicorn Enterprise, and also the president of Praise Music Production, and he's written about 10 songs and written 5 books, and he's the author of Praise Magazine and Jewels Magazine. I saw Praise Magazine, the first edition, and I already love it. When there's no one at home, I'll come and steal it. The graphics and all that, I love it. I love it already. We'll talk more about that. My guest for today, Apostle Frank Asari Nyamekye. Welcome, Papa.
Thank you very much.
How are you doing, sir?
We bless God.
Thank you so much for taking time out of your busy schedule to do this with us.
For having us.
All right. And how's the year going?
Oh, so far, everything is good.
Everything is
You're
good.
not complaining.
All right.
Yeah, God has been good.
All right. God has been good.
Exactly.
When you wake up in the mornings, do you get surprised about what you are doing in life?
Yes, of course.
You are? Okay.
Of course, I do, partly.
Okay.
And partly, I'm not surprised.
Okay.
Because I plan my life next year, this year. Next week, this week.
Okay.
Next month, this month.
Okay.
And life doesn't just happen. It's about your planning.
Exactly.
So I'm not surprised when plans fall in place because I already have planned ahead.
Okay. Okay.
By then, God also surprises me.
All right.
Which surprised me. You know?
All right. I'm sure people get to ask you that as a young person and you've achieved so much. I'm sure people get to ask you what is your secret in ministry. Do people ask you?
A lot.
A lot.
The only difference is I happen to start ministry early.
Early. Oh, okay.
That is just the reason. Because
What age are we talking about?
Oh, my first church, I was 17.
Wow.
Yes.
Where, in Accra or?
No. In Kumasi.
Kumasi. Okay.
There's a place called Enqiuiry.
Enqiuiry, okay.
In Kumasi, my early childhood stage, that's where I grew up.
Okay.
So as a student, I was less than 17 because I was in junior high school when I started a students fellowship.
Okay.
Called Ambassadors for Christ.
As a student?
Yes.
Wow.
So Fridays I will gather the students and then we will start. So that was my first church.
Okay.
And then that is how I went to high school. Still started taking students to mount those days, you know. I'm talking
students were mountains.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Every vacation I would take a lot of them.
Oh, okay.
I was young.
You're young.
So I started ministry early. Like 1998, I was preaching.
98. You were preaching. Wow. In Kumasi. Okay.
You see, and so around 2003, 2004, I started traveling to preach with ministry. So I was exposed to ministry early.
Okay.
That is why I've gotten some experience because I've been in it for a very long time.
A long time.
Exactly.
Okay. All right. Let's talk about. You said from school, secondary school, you were taking people to the mountains.
Oh yeah.
Okay. Let's talk. We'll come back to secondary school. Yeah. First of all, let's talk about your growth and all that. How you experienced God, because something must have happened for you to start serving God as early as 70 years. But first of all, when you were in class 2, class 1, 3, 4, if you were asked, what do you want to do in future? What did you normally say that you wanted to do?
Growing up, I wanted to be a doctor.
Okay. Okay. You wanted to be a doctor.
I'd always wanted to be a doctor.
Okay.
When I was growing up, I have passion for people.
Okay.
And so when I was growing up, but my childhood was not easy, because when kids are sleeping, I will be afraid. Yeah. I remember so well when I was very young, growing up. When I close my eyes, I see things. When I was very young.
Very young.
Yes. Okay. So when night is about to fall, I get so scared. And I'll tell my dad. At that time, he would take me to these people, Full Gospel Businessmen's Fellowship International.
Okay.
It was very strong in Ghana. Then he was part of it. My father is a Presbyterian. So he would take me there. Is there anything wrong? And they would say, no, it's the calling of God. Just that it has started a bit earlier. So I started having encounters very early.
Okay.
As a young boy, though I didn't understand what it was. So combining this with school, with my upbringing, because we had a very difficult upbringing. I quite remember when we were young, my dad, my mom, 6 children, we were all staying in one room.
Wow. All of you?
Oh, yes.
So that means 8?
Oh, yes.
In one room?
Oh, yes.
Wow.
Yeah, it's a curtain that has divided it. And it's a compound house, where there are like 4, 5 families and we all have one washroom.
Wow.
What? You wake up in the morning and there is a queue.
A queue.
In the house. So my coming up wasn't that easy. So combining all these with the calling of God up until I was 19 years and I left home.
Okay. You left home at 19 years. Yeah. Was it after secondary school?
Yeah.
Okay.
I left home. They saw me back after 4 years.
Why did you decide to leave home?
I left for personal reasons, with
okay.
family that I don't want to address it publicly. But my living is where I really found God. Though I knew God those days, when we started, the power of God wasn't that scanty as we see nowadays. Yeah. Because when we started, as a young boy, where I stay, Efijasi is close to the Enqiuiry Mountains. I could go alone. I walk from Efijasi to the mountain because I didn't have money.
To Enqiuiry Mountains?
Yes.
Okay.
So from Efijasi to Enqiuiry Mountains, it will take me, at times I walk for 8 hours.
Wow. To Enqiuiry Mountains?
Yes, because I didn't have money, small money to take trotro to go there. And I could go and stay there alone at that age for 2 weeks, 3 weeks in the bush. So then it's not like today.
Today, okay.
People were serious about God. So it made us get raw gift. Do you understand?
Yeah.
It made us get discipline. We got the raw gift, the raw power from God. And then I got that conviction to leave. So I left home.
You left home?
Yeah. They were looking for me. They went to radio station for 4 years.
But you had left home?
Yeah.
Did you ever hear your name be mentioned on radio?
Yeah. I left. I left for 4 years.
Okay. And you said at that time you found God. Was there any particular experience or circumstance that you can actually lay your hands to it, that this is what made me find God?
I found him, When I say I found him, is an encounter that I will not forget, because leaving home, it was more or less like running away from home. Okay. It was more or less like running away from home. And then I came to a crossroad. Where do I go to? It was actually that night, because at that night I slept in somebody's car, trotro, that he has parked.
Wow.
Yeah, that's why I slept. That is when I found him, you understand? And he spoke to me. And I did what he spoke about. And by God's grace, I first went to Sunyani.
Okay.
Started the ministry there.
From home, you started?
They know. Sunyani people, they know. I was the youngest prophet in Sunyani then.
Wow.
Yes. Sunyani, Brekum, And then that is where from there, traveling, and in that, schooling at the same time, online, bringing now everything together to make myself a better person. It wasn't easy,
It wasn't easy, The way he said it wasn't easy,
It wasn't easy.
I Achia Mountains, you were there for, what was the longest period that you stayed in Achia Mountains?
You see, at a point it was like a home. Because I will go there 2 weeks, a month. When I come down, it's just for 3 days, 4 days, and go back there. So let's say within 6 months, but I was going, coming, going. Yeah, the long, yeah.
A lot of people have talked down on Achia Mountains. I don't know if you've heard about it. A lot of people have talked down about it, but I have done interviews for far too long. I've spoken to great ministers, and the majority of great ministers have testified about Achia Mountains. They going there, they coming back, and their lives being transformed. What is in that mountain that a lot of people go there?
I personally,
Okay.
that place has helped me.
Okay.
I can never stand anywhere and talk down that place. But, you know, as time goes on, things change. I remember last year I went there.
You still go there?
I went there last year. I just wanted to, you know, go and check if the place has so much changed.
Okay.
It has so much changed. When we were there, it was just the camp 3 and like just 2 camps or so. When we were there, it was myself, Apostle Oko Hackman.
Wow.
Yeah, those days. Kofi, prophet, he's dead. May his soul rest in peace. He was at Tema Underbridge that time.
Okay.
And then this man who is now an actor, Apostle John Pra.
Okay.
Yeah, those were those times. I was very little.
Wow.
Yes, I was very little. And we, you know, because at that time, there was so much power. Hey, at the mountains, I had a lot of encounter. First time I saw an angel in his full glory. It was leaning against the wall. It was there.
At the mountain?
Oh, yes.
Okay.
I saw a lot of things. So then, people were coming there for the right reasons. You understand what I'm trying to say? People were coming there. People will be climbing, and just as they are climbing, they will receive an encounter. They can get healing. The place was so sacred and so unique. I don't know about now. I don't know about now. But recently, I just went there. I went there, prayed, and came the same day.
Okay.
So I can't talk down to the place, honestly speaking. But it has helped me.
It has helped
in the past, those days.
The power of God
was
there.
Too much. Hey! I started speaking in tongues the first time there.
Okay.
A lot of things.
A lot of things,
I've seen, a lot of encounters there. I don't know about now.
All right.
Actually.
All right. So did you become a prophet before going to the mountain, or was it at the mountain that you became a prophet?
You see, the gift of prophetic, and I'm so happy that this interview is going on, and it will really help the next generation because that prophetic, that gift of prophetic has brought a lot of confusion in the body of Christ in our generation.
Okay.
You see, I started prophesying, or I started seeing when I was like, let's say, 16. Yeah. Let's say when I was 16. Those who are my mates, they know. They can if they are seeing, they know. They used to call me Kruchi Amansa. Like a lion, you see.
Okay.
They know what I am talking about. Those days where prophetic was scarce, we could prophesy at that time. And I don't think none of my word has fallen onto the ground. No. It has never happened before. If people who know me are real enough to say or to testify, they know that prophetic is real. It is there. Okay? But you see, God gives prophetic grace to people for edification, for comfort, for encouragement. Now, when you are given prophetic grace, the gift of the prophet is under the prophet. Okay? Right now, there is so much misunderstanding about the prophetic.
Okay.
Okay. But I want to take a minute to address that issue.
Okay, please
you see,
go ahead.
prophetic is not a means to put fear inside people. That is not God. Why? Because fear and everything that goes with it is from the devil. Without faith, you cannot please God. So with fear, you are displeasing God. Everything about the devil is fear. Everything the devil does is to make us afraid, because fear is what will make you compromise your standards. What if? What if? Everything is as a result of fear. Now, if prophetic is to put fear in people, then where is God inside the prophetic? Prophetic is not to tell people what they want to hear and as a means of extracting money, or the gift, using it for your material benefit. Okay. But the true prophetic of God is like, you see, going to a hospital, every qualified doctor, no matter how clear the symptom is, will tell you to go to the lab. Because
I love that. Every true doctor, no matter how the
symptom will not just tell you, go and take this medicine.
Even if it's visible and all that.
What you might see might not be the reality.
The reality, okay.
You understand?
Yeah.
The fact that something resembles something doesn't make it the same.
Exactly.
So go to the lab, so that what our eye cannot see, the lab can bring it out. So it becomes the solution when you see. Knowledge is power. You shall know the truth, and the truth shall set you free. Now, 2 Kings 2:19, the people of Jericho came to the prophet and said, Elisha, you see, this town is well situated, and that everyone have it, 1 or 2 or 3. There are people, no matter what God has given them, they are married, but no child. He's a nice young man, but there is an addiction he cannot control. Why is this family at this certain age they die? That but, how can't I finish school? And whenever that bat comes in, all the things that you said before the bat, people don't regard it anymore. You understand what I'm trying to say? So the town is well situated, and the prophet now said, bring me sword and new bow. The reason why you go to the prophet is to use hindsight to know why things are happening the way they are happening, and to use insight to understand why things are happening now. So what happened? Hindsight. What is happening now? Insight. And to use foresight or farsight to know what will happen in future. And so what happened? One young man saw me some years ago and then said, Papa, I am the most poorest man on earth. Like, I work very hard, but it seems that nothing is working.
The man told you?
Oh, everything. He told me. He confided in me. Then I said, let's pray. We prayed. Then I said, are you a contractor, like you work in buildings? He said, yeah. I said, you guys went to a village to build a mini school and you saw a lady there. He said, yes. I said, you impregnated the lady. He said, yes. I said, after the building, you left without even saying bye, because she doesn't know you. You don't know her. How long is this? He told me about 7 years. I said, the lady has given birth to your daughter. You don't even know how she looked like. But on the bed, when the lady was giving birth, that pain, she said, this pain will be your life. Prayers and fasting does not break that. Then everyone will do what they want. Hide behind grace and fool. God, there is justice in heaven. It vindicates the innocent. And
I love that. Please rewind and press play. There is justice in heaven. And it vindicates.
It only vindicates the innocent. You understand? So I told this guy that you have been going from one man of God to another. They will tell you what you want to hear. Either your mom or your grandmother or your father or this or that or this. God has forgiven you. Maybe it's a mistake you did. God forgive mistakes. But on this earth, For you to be relevant, for things to go on well, go look for your child, apologize to the lady. It's as simple as that. This is the purpose of prophetic. This is the prophet of prophetic. The purpose of prophetic. You understand? I told him, he went there, look for them, settle with them, everything is okay. I don't know if you are getting what I'm trying to say. So prophetic, like I said, is to bring edification, is to bring comfort. You know, when Lazarus died, do you know what Mary and Martha told you? They said, Papa, if you were here, our brother wouldn't have died. There are some people, if they had met a true prophet, they wouldn't have made unnecessary mistakes. Because man is dangerous. Man is the only person who can befriend, eat, dine with a person he intends to destroy. An animal cannot do that. You understand? Man is dangerous. The enemy of man is man. So you need people to tell you, don't do that investment. You lose all the money. You need someone to tell you, this marriage, think twice. What you are seeing might not be the reality. You need someone to tell you that this location, relocation, stay here. Here is where God will bless you. And so everyone who became prosperous in life had someone who can see what you cannot see.
Everyone
who was successful. Every successful person has a seer. If they will be honest to themselves, someone to tell you, you are about to make that investment, don't. So people make unnecessary mistakes because in Africa especially, we deal with cure instead of prevention. So a matured person will make a move before doing anything, marriage, investment, anything. But we do the opposite. We will allow it to happen before we make a move. So now everyone who goes to church or a man of God have a problem before going. There's nobody who is going, I don't have a problem, everything is well, but I want to come so that there will not be problem. That's the purpose of the prophetic.
Enquiry to do things.
Exactly. In that case, you've given God his respect. But we want, when the problem comes
and then
I'm
going to see prophet.
It's just like having a girlfriend and calling the girlfriend only when you want to have sex with her. Or having a boyfriend and calling the boyfriend only when you need money. That is what we do to God. There's no relationship there. They are just coming because of the problem. That is, and that is not him. Jesus is not a native doctor, or he is not this.
Doctors and all that.
It is relationship. He do things for people based on the relationship he have with them. I have not seen what God want to do for them that love him. Relationship. You understand what I'm trying to say? But people want to avoid that relationship and then jump from one person to another. And after that, go and say, fake prophets, they told me this, it didn't happen. They told me this. You know, even when people go to church and give money, they are giving the money just out of lust of what they saw God doing for A. So let me also give so that God will give me what he gave to A. That is when at some point when they see they are not getting what A will have, they stop.
Everybody wants to be a prophet.
A lot of people want to be a prophet. And the true prophetic is there. Even though if you want to go deep into the prophet, there is the office of the prophet and there is the prophetic gift. Not everyone who prophesies is a prophet.
Oh, not everyone who prophesies
is a prophet.
Wow.
You understand? When I give you ingredients here, you will cook, we will eat. We can even enjoy the food very much. It doesn't make you a chef. That you have a qualification to be a chef. God speaks. And since God speaks, there is prophetic in every Christian.
Okay. That's taking me to my answer. That's taking me to the answer that I want. There's prophetic in every Christian.
Every Christian. Then if there's no prophetic in you, you are not a Christian. Then how does God communicate to you? How do you have discernment?
Okay.
But that doesn't make you a prophet.
Oh, okay.
That makes you a Christian, a child of God. Then there is the person who is in the office of the prophet.
Okay.
That person have control over the prophetic. That person is prophetic. Prophetic is part of God in a person. That person. So that is the confusion.
Okay.
So the fact that you can see someone dying tomorrow and the thing coming to pass doesn't make you that you are a prophet.
Some people would say that is a calling of God upon their lives.
No,
it's not a confirmation.
You might have the prophetic gift. That doesn't make you a prophet. At a gathering, God can talk through anyone.
Okay.
Yes, but there are people called in the prophetic office as prophets.
Are they born prophets?
Okay, so you get prophetic in 3 ways. There are people who are prophets even before they are born.
Okay.
There are prophets, that is Elijah. There are prophets who are just prophets because they are following prophets, impartation. That is Elisha.
Okay.
And there are prophets who God will call them genuinely because they desire to be prophets. And they desire, align with God, because the only purpose of prophetic is souls. That's all.
The only purpose of prophetic is souls.
God have sent people, go to the world and bring me souls. Is that not it? That is the only purpose of Christianity.
Purpose.
There's no other purpose.
Okay.
And so prophetic is also there so that it will help people to come. That is all. It's souls. So genuinely, if that is not your purpose, you have deviated. You help someone who is going to die. The person have escaped death. The person now has come to God. It's simple. It's for souls. Not for anything else.
All right. So at what age did you have that calling to be a prophet? 16 years. Okay. And you started prophesying and all that. Okay. I'll come back and ask you some very, very pertinent questions on the prophetic. But let's journey into your ministry, because we have a lot to ask you about the prophetic and all that. A lot of questions surrounding the prophetic, who are prophetic, who are CIs and all that. A lot of people. And you made a very important statement about how that the fact that you see or you can actually have a vision or something doesn't make you a prophet. Okay, there are things that go into it. We'll get into that so that we can talk more about the prophetic. But first of all, let's talk about your ministry, your start of ministry. Sunyane, you did ministry all around Bronga Hafo. What pushed you into those ways? Because you are from Kumasi, and then you moved from Achia, then to Bronga Hafo. What took you there? And how did that happen?
Okay, so you see, right, my life, I've never wanted to start a church.
Okay.
Ever.
You didn't want to?
I've never wanted to start a church. Genuinely.
Okay.
If I'd wanted to start a church, then I will have like 500 churches. Yes, because I've preached to people. But I'd wanted to support churches that is already there. But there's a lot of churches already.
A lot of churches.
Already. So why do you start one when there is already a lot? Like you can just but I was being used so much.
The way is that being used, you are being used.
I love God.
Okay. I can see.
I love God. I have my personal mistakes. Everyone can make mistakes, which is normal. But God knows that I'm in love with Him right from childhood. And I can do anything if it is the work of God. So when I went to Sunyane, I was supporting a church called Open Bible Ministry. Okay. So Open Bible Ministry in Sunyane had collapsed. It's like when I went there were 3 members. So I told them, you know what? Let me take the church, and then so the church became full in 2 months' time.
Wow.
Yes.
When you took over?
They know. When
in
people
2 months?
listen to me, know, yes. And so I was now running those programs and all that. So right when it became here, everything is fine. Then I put a man of God there. Then I went to Brekum.
Okay.
Brekum, a church called Holy Temple, Prophet Edward Opoku. So as soon as I went there, he came to Accra, start Accra, left me there. I even built a church there for him.
Wow.
Like that time it could take like 1,000 people. Under like a year.
Wow.
Yes.
This was years ago.
Oh yes. Under a year we were, So right from there, Nigeria.
Okay. You went to Nigeria too?
Oh yes.
Okay.
I preached for a lot of men of God.
How many countries have you been to?
A lot.
A lot.
Yeah. So
One day we'll do the counting.
a lot.
Okay.
Lot. Like 8 of my passports are finished.
Wow.
So a lot.
A lot. Can I borrow one passport?
So Nigeria, we had a lot of impact there.
In Nigeria?
Yes.
I heard ministry in Nigeria is difficult.
No, ministry in Nigeria is not difficult.
Really?
How will it
But
be
have you heard about that?
I've
For
not.
a Ghanaian to start a church in Nigeria, it's very...
Ministry in everywhere is difficult.
Oh, really?
Yes. Ministry in Ghana is difficult than Nigeria. Ministry in everywhere in the world is difficult. Ministry is difficult.
Ministry?
Yes.
Even with the prophetic?
Yes. There is you see there are people going about preachers, preaching that kind of entertainment preaching.
Okay.
Like as if as soon as you come everything will be
will,
okay.
yeah.
It's never true. Everything is difficult because everything is a process. You can't use the lift. You have to use the staircase.
The staircase.
You just have to enjoy every stage that you are and move forward. Be effective every place that you are. If you have 2 people, preach the same way. If you have 1,000 people, you will preach. That is all. You don't wait. Become effective at the level that you are.
Effective at the level that you are.
If you don't, you can't go to the next stage. That's why in life people are writing remedial classes. They can't go for it. That is why the same thing is happening
It's
to
happening
them.
to them over and over and over and over.
They don't learn from that stage. If you don't learn from that stage, you can't graduate to the next stage. Life is a process. It's just like that.
A lot of ministers say in Nigeria, ministry is difficult because there are a lot of churches. When you go to Nigeria, I've been to Lagos before. Every 1 meter there is a redeemed church, if not redeemed winners. So it makes ministry difficult there.
No, Nigeria ministry will challenge you to do better.
Oh, really?
You are going to Bishop Oyedepo's church and you are seeing a congregation of over 50,000 people and he still do 4 services.
And he preaches himself.
Yes. Bishop Oyedepo, you are going to TBJ church, you are going to Adiboye's church, all these men they will even challenge you to because Nigeria, they know honor.
Okay.
They know honor. Ghanaians doesn't know honor. Ghanaians have thrown Christianity away. It's so bad when you go to social media and then they are talking about men of God. You see some younger, the way they insult men of God. There is no value in Christianity. People have devalued Christianity. Nigeria is not like that. Nigeria, you can't go and talk about a man of God in Nigeria. His members will come and attack you. They honor their men of God. They honor them with everything they've got. It's unlike here that let's just say, if I would say in tree, Nyamekye for
Enqiuiry, okay.
Do you understand? We've lose that favor, that there's no regard, that anybody anyhow can talk anything that they want. As if Christianity, do you understand what I'm trying to say? Nigeria is not like that. I can tell you the gospel truth. Nigeria is not like that. I was in Nigeria. Then, right from there, I went to Zimbabwe. God gave me Zimbabwe.
Wow.
If Zimbabweans are watching, there's nobody in Zimbabwe who doesn't know me.
Okay. Wow.
If you go to Google and then start to Google my name in Zimbabwe, everybody knows me. We introduced Prophetic in Zimbabwe. There is one guy who is a social media icon. Everybody knows him in South Africa, called Enqiuiry. They know him.
I know
Everybody knows him. Enqiuiry was the one who held my Bible in Zimbabwe. I picked him up. I picked him up.
Wow.
Yes.
Wow.
He knows.
Enqiuiry is huge. They know him on social media.
I said everybody knows him in South Africa. He calls me every day, Papa, Papa.
Wow.
You understand? Those days, he was holding my Bible. Melchizedek was holding my Bible here. Those top men of God in Southern, we made them hungry for the prophetic, in Zimbabwe. God gave me Zimbabwe. God was with me in Zimbabwe. And then right from there, South Africa. in South Africa too. Ministry has taken me to a lot of places. I came to Cote d'Ivoire. I was on Benin TV with Papa Sam and the wife. They are good people. I was with them for some time. Our crusades in Yopougon, 30,000 people in attendance.
In Yopougon?
Yeah. So God lifted me in Cote d'Ivoire as well. I remember the first time I went to Cote d'Ivoire, I went to the TV and I said, I see 87 people died in a day. And people were, nobody came to me. They were going to Mecca and 87 people died. So those prophecies, they were going to Mecca, 87 or so, yeah, exactly what I said. And a footballer, then they will come to me, but you said it and it happened. Then I said, when I said it, nobody came to me to ask me, what do we do and all that.
You're waiting for the result to happen.
Yeah, it doesn't happen like that. When personal prophecy comes, it's conditional. There is a responsibility on your part as well. That God have said it doesn't guarantee that it will happen. If God tell you you will be a doctor and you are in the bush catching grass cutter, you will still be a doctor, even though God said it. It doesn't happen like that.
It doesn't happen like that.
It's conditional. There's a part
that you have to play. Okay.
That you have to pay. So I've been around with the ministry. So it is just, you see the ministry and the crowd and all those people, it's just 2 years old.
2 years? Wow.
All these years, I was pushing other ministries.
Other ministries.
Ghana here, I've preached for a lot of churches. Most of the Action Chapel churches, most of ICGC churches. I have preached for a lot of churches in Ghana here and all that. So it has been, pushing churches and all that. So God told me about my ministry to start a ministry. It was just recent. It's just 2 years.
2 years.
So all those people see and all that. It's just 2 years.
2 years.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
And you didn't want to start a church. Which one would you forever remember? Which ministry exploits would you forever remember? And in which country would it forever linger in your mind?
Zimbabwe.
When we come back, we'll go to Zimbabwe. Do you have a video of you in Zimbabwe preaching? I mean, we'll find it in the net. Yeah. But first of all, let's toast to a drink. We'll be back after this break. All right. So we'll be talking to him about ministry exploit and everything that is on a young minister's heart. He will get to answer. And I trust that it will be a blessing. I trust these things have inspired you. Don't go anywhere. After this break, we will have an insightful conversation. This is Impact Live. I'll be back.
February, March, April, May, June down to December. God, you've been so good. You've been so good. You've been so good. Count my blessings, name them one by one. You've been so good. I will not forget. I will not forget. I will not forget. You've been my lawyer, shelter, helper, provider, healer, helper, God. I will not forget. I will not forget. I will not forget. You are all I need. You are all I want. Mighty God. February, March, April, May, June down to December.
Welcome back. I trust you're having an amazing time. I trust that you are enjoying this conversation. My guest is still Apostle Frank Asari Nyamekye, and we are having an amazing time right here. And the things he shared with us, especially on the prophetic, I trust that if you are a minister of the gospel, it will be of essential benefit to you. We're moving straight. We were talking Zimbabwe. What do you remember about Zimbabwe so much that it's still on your mind, that is still lingering on your mind, sir?
It's a great nation.
It's a great nation, okay.
It's a great nation. And God gave me a lot of exposure in Zimbabwe.
In Zimbabwe, okay.
A lot. When I say a lot.
You mean a lot?
All the people who matters in life.
Okay.
I met them, you see.
Okay.
So God gave me a lot of exposure. It's like God giving you a country, not just a city or an area. You see, do you understand that kind of like a nation where everyone want to see you or want to know you and all that? Yeah. So it got to a time that I was operating from there, because I remember from there I went to this place where Kenya. The time I went to Kenya was when they were doing the first election, the first time that Uhuru Kenyatta stood for a president.
Okay.
I was there. The TV station came to interview me who will win. I told him Uhuru Kenyatta will win. It will go to court, but he will still win. I remember all those times. You know?
Okay.
So I was operating from Zim to other nations. I love the country. I won't lie to you.
Wow.
Yeah. I love the country. And the country also blessed me.
Okay.
At that time, I remember they were using US dollar.
Okay.
Yeah. So God gave me a lot of dollars from there.
So we are all going to Zimbabwe, I think. Wow.
That time was so
good.
nice. Yeah.
All right. So you remember Zimbabwe a lot.
So well.
So,
and I still have sons and daughters there. You see, spiritual, a lot, thousands. That who still, you know, fatherhood. A lot of people have submitted to me there still.
Okay.
In South Africa. So that is why my bond there has not cut. Hasn't cut off completely.
Okay.
Yeah. Right. I'm planning to go there very soon.
You're planning to
just for a crusade and then come back, you know.
All right. Let's get to talk about ministry, especially for the young ones. What do you think is the missing link in terms of, you are an apostle, you function in all the gifts of ministry, but primarily the prophetic is very significant in your life, which I know. For the young ones that are coming up, what do you think is a missing link in terms of the prophetic?
Okay. You see, this generation is hard, eh?
Okay.
Especially, there's too much distraction. There's too much distraction. There is too much distraction in this generation. We started where you could be without phone. You go to communication center before you make a call and all that. So. But right now, even 14-year-old children are exposed to so much on the internet, and so people are so distracted. People are extremely distracted, very, very distracted, you know. And so that is number one, distraction. And if you want to be in control in the physical, you have to be in control in the spirit. And if you are so much distracted, because to really be a spiritual person, you have to be a master of your mind and master of your body.
A master of your mind and a master of your body.
Yes.
Okay.
Because on this earth, everything is about the mind, you see. But you are so much distracted, like so much distracted. How are you going to really focus? So right now, church is now basing on the administrative side more than spiritual side. So when you go to every church, they will find a very good, academically sound administrator. Put all the things, the systems in place, and then church will run. They will find a very good person, communicator. That faculty will be the people to bring people to church. They will know what to do on TV, what to do on adverts, the things they will say. They will edit this, edit that, and then people will come eventually. So you will go to a lot of churches and there is a lot of people, but the kind of problems that they have, you will be shocked. Because churches are now not addressing the spiritual needs of the people. We are just addressing the now needs of the people and entertaining them to fit in. You know? just to fit in the church. So this youth and this generation are not really going after that. They are just copying that kind of I have arrived without passing through any process. Number two, in every generation, every age, God look for people unto him he can commit himself and his oracles. Okay? If you are available, then God will consider his work accomplished. Now the issue here is, I believe in impartation. You can't know it all from your mother's womb. So there could be a leader, there could be a master, there could be someone you are learning from gradually. But in our generation, the youth is only getting the principles of the fathers. They are not getting the gift and the spirit of the fathers.
They are getting the principles.
It's only the principle. They will dress like them, they will talk like them, they will jump like them, but they cannot be them or be more than them. The concept of Elisha principle is not in our generation nowadays, because how can you fill a cup which is already full? In our generation now, the youth is not sorting after, because you could ask our fathers, they were praying. Prayers became a necessity for their survival in life. This generation, we are not praying. Okay? A person can just be on the phone from 10 p.m. to 4 a.m. Yes, social media. He's just on the phone. If you want to preach, maybe come and preach about faith, you go to Google and type faith. Check scriptures about faith, everything, do his message, go there, pray, and then they go just like that. So much so that now everything, that kind of advancement is good and bad at the same time, as a matter of fact. You understand what I'm trying to say? So we are not really getting the spirit of the fathers. And they don't even want to risk releasing it to this generation, because we think that we know too much. Yeah. We think that we know too much. So the fathers are dying with what they have. Yes. And now the youngsters who are coming up, most of them are finding their own way and finding their own principles. And so if you look at Ghana, a lot of people are even afraid to let their children go to church. The fathers who are supposed to help us, we talk about them. The fathers who have seen what we have not seen, we criticize them. How are they going to show you the real way? If life is about going to church, coming, eating, be with your family, sleep, the next day you go, then what life is that? So God is that limited to what we think he is. He is more than that. But we are not really going forward, because, like I said, this generation, the youth don't want to humble themselves. Yeah, the youth think they have arrived. They think that they know too much. Why? Because at least he preached to 500 people. And so he has arrived. So when you go to heaven and we call you with your 500 people, and we call Paul and compare you with Paul or Peter, so you prophesy to 3 people. So in heaven, when we call you and we call Elijah, they were also born 9 months in the womb. We call you and we call Isaiah to come and stand there. And with this 500 people, the kind of arrogance, you will be shocked.
The kind of arrogance.
Gosh. And so if you ask these people, I don't have even a friend. I have fathers, I have sons and daughters, but I don't do friends. Maybe one friend, maybe 2 friends,
But to have a company of friends around, a group or association.
I don't think anybody knows my house. Or knows me, and I'm not a social media person. You could go there, search. I prefer to be me, to be who I am, hide in my corner and then do what God expects from me, as a matter of fact. I am not living to please anybody. If you are not very careful, the crowd will tell you what to do, your movement, your life, because you will be living for them, not for yourself and for God. So it has been a whole lot. It has been a whole lot, and it's crazy, because right now prophets are not praying to get messages from God to tell the crowd. They could go to Facebook and search people's information and go and tell them, and people will be screaming, bah, bah. I sit here, I watch the TV, I see what is going on. Somebody telling you your name who is not called by God, who just see the entertainment part, the business side of church. Because I will be honest with you today, that church ministry, there is money in it than any work in the world.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Okay.
If you do God's work well, God will bless you. I am being honest with you. So people see that and without being called want to jump into. That is not what I am talking about. That you can easily know. You can easily know. But there are some people who had the genuine gift and have put that aside, and then maybe doing tricks, doing this, doing that, because you have the genuine gift. You will have to maintain a cordial relationship. How does a person give him or herself to you? You have a girlfriend. You give the person, number one, love. You give the person, number two, attention. You give the person, number three, your time. You give the person, more importantly, your honesty, to be honest with the person. Lust cannot do this. Lust appears so genuine, but it just that it gets bored.
It fickles away.
It just bored on the way. But true love is consistent. So it takes a disciplined person to do that. And so imagine that you say that you love God, you're in a relationship with God. You talk to God 1 hour, or let's say 30 minutes each day. Each day. This is your personal. I'm not talking about going to church and that's not what I'm talking about.
Your personal.
Yeah. That one is a collateral blessing, like a group blessing. That prayers that we pray is a group blessing. That has nothing to do with your relationship with God. I don't know if you get me. Don't get me wrong. That one build your spirit to flow with God, because you know that if you are my father now and I need a mobile phone and I come and stand there and I say, Papa, give me the mobile phone, yay, give me the mobile phone, you tell me I'm mad. So those things just boost our spiritual energies and all that.
Okay.
But the real relationship is you and God sitting down and saying, Papa, I'm your child though. I'm not perfect, but it's only you I can wrong.
Okay.
If your child go to toilet on your leg, you clean it, you don't cut it off. You see how things are going. This family rely on me. I need this visa. I need it. Do it so that you will get the praise. I don't want to compromise my standard to turn me into who I am not if I go and ask this. This is a relationship. Talking with God. So imagine if you had maintained that communication for like 5 years. Talking to God 30 minutes each day. God will give himself to you. Because he knows that when no one is there, you will be there. People come to God just because of their problems. He knows them. It has nothing to do with relationship. They just go to church when they need something, they will lie down, cry, or it's just because of the problem. It has nothing to do with the relationship. But people who are in relationship with God, they don't even ask. He will give it to them. He knows them. He loves them. So, have a cordial relationship with God. The relationship is what will give you what you want. This is one of my major secrets. Relationship doesn't mean that everything will be fair and everything will be all right and everything, that is not relationship. So having a relationship doesn't mean that you will not mess up and all that, but it's just a matter of messing up. It doesn't change it by going and say, I'm sorry. Okay. So build a relationship with God. You just need to build a relationship with God. Now, if you have done that, it will make you grow.
The relationship.
Relationships grow.
Okay.
If you have been married for like 20 years, 30 years, 40 years, you and your wife begin to even look alike.
Exactly.
So relationship, you grow. But people want the kind of spirituality that they come today and then they are spirit. It doesn't happen like that.
They
you
come and
grow,
then,
you grow it, you grow. So if you have grown in it like that, you make mistakes, you rise up, you know everything, experiences about that, then God will now, give you what, because he cannot just risk power to you like that with your immaturity. You are going to cause a whole lot of.
God can not just risk power to you like that.
That is the reason why there were 3 people. He created all of them, but he gave this 1 talent, these 2, there's 5.
Okay.
He knows everybody's experience and capability and all that. It doesn't make the one who has only 1 less the person he is.
Okay.
No.
All right.
So if I see a person who is not, I'll know immediately. Why wouldn't I know? I will know. But you won't be able to know, especially like I said, the people who was once in it and they have deviated and using tricks. You will never know.
Okay.
How are you going to know? They were once there.
They had the journey of prophetic ministry.
Yes.
Okay.
And they have shifted.
They've
So
shifted.
you won't know.
Never know.
You won't know. How are you going to know?
Okay.
You won't know.
All right.
You will follow blindly. You won't know.
You won't know.
Yeah, it takes discernment. It takes God.
It takes discernment.
Yeah.
Another powerful thing that we're missing from in the body of Christ. But we'll get there. If not today, because of another time.
Yeah, we'll have part 2.
We'll have part 2 to go there. So as a father who have a lot of spiritual sons and all that, how does a son relate to a father in order to be impacted? Because you find out that a lot of sons, like you said, they act like their fathers, but they don't have the what makes the fathers stick as they are, the genuineness of the fathers. How do you relate to a father in order to draw out everything that you admire about him, especially in the prophetic?
Service.
Service?
That's all.
Service?
But what is service?
Okay.
When Elijah was going up, Elisha said, I need double portion of your grace. And do you know what Elijah told Elisha? He said, hey, you've asked a difficult thing. How is this difficult? You have parted the river, I have seen. God is even taking you up. You didn't experience that, I have seen. And just saying, God, give my son double portion is difficult. But he said, when you see me being carried up, it will come to you. In other words, if you can see me up there and you down here, he was talking about humility. It will come to you.
He was talking about humility.
Yes, if you can see me up
and you
are down, then it will flow to you. Service and humility.
Okay.
You see, service is the only thing that brings exposure. And when you are serving, you have to obey protocol. See leadership as leadership. See authority as authority. People are not serving. They want to just become like their masters overnight. Look at the life of Joseph. In everywhere he went, Potiphar's house, even in the prison, he was effective. If you cannot do your best while serving, God will not make you best while people serve you.
If you cannot do your best while serving, God will not make you the best while.
The service in the prison is what took him to the palace.
To the palace, okay.
You understand what I'm trying to say? Integrity, truthfulness. Now, these guys are just after what the man of God has. They are not after the man of God. Do you know why the youngsters are not getting the real giftings of the man of God? Because they see their fathers, the men of God, not as a person, but as an opportunity.
They see him as an opportunity.
If I see you as an opportunity, I am just around because of the opportunity. When the opportunity is not there, this is the reason why a lot of people betray their fathers, their men of God. Because they have seen that the opportunity they are looking for is no more there. But if you are after the person, you cover the person, you protect the person, you serve the person, you humble the person, you love the person, and then the giftings come to you. So now, do you know what the fathers are doing? They rather will impart their own children, biological children.
Their own biological children.
Yes,
their
now,
biological children.
and it's not their fault. Because they know that the outside people just see them as an opportunity.
Opportunity, okay.
So they will now leave everything and then impact their biological children. But the issue is, what if your biological child is not called? So they will die with their gift then. Are you getting
Yes, I'm getting it. I'm getting it.
So that's why I was talking about Nigeria. Here they don't say.
They don't serve.
Oh no. They pretend. Do you know service? I am talking about service, true service. That is what will let you get anything that you want. But it comes with humility, respect, covering. I don't know if you are
Covering. Okay. Covering yours.
covering the person's nakedness.
Covering the person that you are serving's nakedness.
Yes, now. I don't know.
Yes,
if you
I
are
get it.
Yes, that is what service is about. That is why you are serving the person. Why have we heard that this man of God did this, that man of God did that? It was the people serving them that brought it out. We didn't know them. We don't stay with them. We don't know anything about them.
It is their young pastors,
Yes.
young boys and all that.
Do you call that service? How are you? God made you a judge of the father that you are serving. Do you think that you know God more than the father? If you are allowed to walk in his shoes, maybe you die in 2 days. Do you know what they have seen? But people think that they know their fathers. That's what they think. It's a deception. People think they are even more than them. What a deception. And so at the end of the day, they will go when even they are not ripe enough prematurely and open their own church and destroy everything. Because if God gives you what your father have today, maybe you sleep with every girl in the church. You know, if God, so they don't want to be trained. They don't want to pass through the process. They just want that today they come and the father will take his hand and say, hey, this night come. And the father will take them somewhere and say, hey, bring pepper and then grind it and put it in your eye. You are done.
And then you are done.
The fathers are also misleading them, making them fast. All the sons, most of them have gotten ulcers. But the thing is not in the fasting. Yeah.
It's not in a fasting.
So,
Apostle, this matter.
we will go to part 2.
We're still speaking to Apostle Frank Nyamekye, and we're having an exciting time. I trust that you have learned. You've learned a lot. I told you things that you will not hear on the pulpit. That is what we share right here on Impact Live. And I trust that this has been a blessing. Before we wrap up, let's ask some questions, and then we'll continue on another time.
Part 2,
on the part 2. First of all, have you ever felt like giving up in ministry before?
A lot of times.
A lot of times.
Yes. But Jesus even felt like giving up.
Oh, really?
When he was going to the cross, he said, let this cup overcome me. These are 2 things that men of God have to know. You are not a super being. I cannot be doing the same thing that I used to do when I was 16 years. People just have to allow me to enjoy every stage of my life.
Okay.
You see, but the crowd will make you... I'd rather have 2 and be effective than have 100 and then deceive them.
Deceive them.
You know, there's 2 things. Jesus said, let the cup overtake me. So you will reach a point that you feel like giving up. It's very normal.
Okay.
Number 2, Jesus prayed for a blind man. He said, can you see? He said, no, I see people like trees. And so if you're a man of God and praying for someone or doing something first and it didn't work, doesn't make you less the man of God you are. Stop stressing yourself. Even it happened to Jesus also. Just try again. I don't know if you're getting what I'm
getting it.
Yeah. So there's a lot of time that I wanted to give up. I will be honest with you, especially when I am saving people. God have used me to do a lot of people, but do a lot of things. But like I'm not a social
Media person. I understand.
God is my witness. You know. I remember one time I was there, and then a man of God and the wife came to my office, and they said that the wife has been diagnosed with HIV.
Wow.
God is my witness. The wife is a nurse. I told him, do you believe in what I will tell you? He said, yes. I said, take communion wine. We took the communion wine. And I said, go and continue your marriage. I've never seen any love like that. The guy didn't tell anyone, continue the marriage, and impregnated the girl. I was in a crusade, Sure Word Ministry in Togo. They called me that the girl has given birth, the woman, sorry. There's no HIV, the child no HIV, the husband no HIV. God heals. The power of God is there. I'll be honest with you. The power of God is there. This thing, I won't even, it's not me, it's God. He just used me as an instrument to do. And so I have seen God doing things in ministry.
As a pastor, when a pastor, I'm speaking for as a pastor, for those who are coming up, when you hear a rumor about yourself, what do you do?
I don't do anything. What people say about me is their problem, not my problem.
Okay.
I'm too mature than that. That I will ask who said this, who said that, this, that. No.
Okay.
It doesn't really concern me. You do know what makes us human? What makes us human is the fact that people must talk about us. The truth is, if you want to be real, people must talk about you. Every good thing must be opposed. If nobody talks about you, you are a hypocrite. It means you live to please people. You go, people will definitely talk about you, because you see, especially in Africa, everybody think about everybody.
Okay.
And especially in Africa, we have another problem. We exaggerate.
Okay.
So if Mr. A saw a man of God and a girl somewhere, the reported speech, how he will come and say it, he will exaggerate it. And paint a picture. So, especially Ghanaians, we are actors and actresses, but we act with only our mouth. So, you can draw a picture and make it your belief and all that. I don't really dwell in that. You see, I don't get angry with people. You can't let me lose my appetite. That I heard this, I will eat. My brother, I will eat. You can't make me like. I will enjoy my day, because people will always talk.
People will always talk.
It's a normal thing.
All right. 5 amazing books. Let's talk about them. How many books? 5. Okay. So
2 are better than 1.
2 are better than 1. Okay.
It's about marriage.
Okay, that's what we have here.
I wrote this book when I was not married. Meanwhile, it's about marriage. So it was after this that I married.
You married, okay.
Yes. I proposed to my wife after seeing her after 5 days.
Oh, 5 days?
Yeah, in Dubai.
Wow.
Yeah. So after 5 days, and I proposed. She's a Canadian.
Okay.
She's a Canadian. So, yeah. I wrote this book. I wasn't married when I wrote it, but it's actually about
marriage.
The 2 are better than 1. Okay. And then I have godly and deadly passions.
Okay.
It's deep. And I have Their Big Mouth.
Yeah, Big Mouth. Okay.
You should read that book.
I will. I will.
Then I have The Christian Living.
Okay. All right. So 5 amazing books. And how can someone purchase these?
Oh, it's there. They go online.
Okay. All right.
They'll get anything that they want.
All right.
And as time goes, I'll also let you load it for them.
All right, I will.
And my music as well.
Your music as well, yes.
My music as well. So my music, the title is Praise Covenant.
Okay.
Yes, that's the title.
Do we have a video of it?
Oh, I have videos. I have a lot of videos
of it.
All my songs. Yes.
Okay. Can you introduce your music video so we show it on the screen? Right. So let's do.
Yeah. So you can because I have this song that I did, One Dawn, that I did. The title is Imrani.
Imrani. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
The title is Imrani. Very, very powerful song.
Okay.
It's a worship. Then I have You Are My God. It's Nigeria, Twi, and English.
Oh, okay, combined.
I have one, Today, Not Today. You see, I have a lot of songs.
A lot of songs. Yeah. Okay. We'll wrap up and I will continue this conversation again.
Exactly.
Yes, and whatever question you have, you can send it to the number showing on your screen, and then we will get to answer it on our next edition. He's a very busy person, so we'll write a letter and present it so that we can do what I trust you. I have been blessed personally. I trust you have been blessed. Papa, we are wrapping up, but what is your final word for those who are watching us, especially young ministers who never had the opportunity to meet you but are watching you now? What would you tell them?
No does not necessarily means no. It can be a yes in disguise.
Okay.
This ministry is not straight away sweet as people, It's a process. You shouldn't quit. It's consistency, and it only takes a disciplined person to be consistent. So don't quit. They can say they will not give you, they cannot say God will not give you. Press forward, press forward, press forward. Don't procrastinate. The future we talk about is now. And I know if you are a young minister, you are on your way of becoming great as God has called you. Not seeing anything now doesn't mean God is not doing anything. Just don't quit. So God bless you. God bless you too. God bless you, and thank you so much. And we have the Praise Magazine. The Praise Magazine. And there will be numbers on your screen, 0242939348. For those of you who are in Kumasi, as for Moonlight, Kumasi, you can get it via the number that I just mentioned, 0242939348. Share shops and those. Yes, all those shops. Share shops. Okay. It comes every 3 months. Okay. This, and then the jewels. Okay. Jewels also come every 4 months. So okay. You'll see it. You'll see it. All right. And you have a church in Ghana now? Do you have a church in Ghana? No. Okay. And I don't want one. You know. but you have an upcoming program. Yes. Okay. What I do in Ghana is the IPC, International Prophetic Conference. Okay. So if the poster you were looking at, yes, is one of it. If you see a hand, so this is International Prophetic Conference. So if you see, it's 5 nights with 5 prophets. I brought Andrew Williams from US. He's an American. I brought this man from Nigeria. This from Italy. This from Ghana. Wow. So that's the programs I do. So I do. It's strictly prophetic. Okay. We teach about the prophetic because prophetic has so much been misintroduced. So it has so much. So I do it twice every year. Twice every year, okay. Yes, in Ghana. So this year we'll be doing it in October. Usually I do it and end on my birthday in October. That's how I do it. Okay. So we will do it in October. In October, yes. All right. So details will come to you. Details will come, right? So that you can have the opportunity to also attend. But I want you to pray for everyone that is watching us. And for those who want to talk to you, is there a number or how do they reach you? That's the problem. Because now, I know, right? They won't let you sleep. They won't let you sleep. Okay. So what they can do is to email me. Email, okay. That one is fine. Okay, that's fine. ApostleFrankNyamekye@gmail.com. Okay. It's easy. It's easy. Okay. ApostleFrankNyamekye@gmail.com. So if you email me and then we see that we have to contact you, then I will contact you myself, because if you put your number, somebody will even call and say, I am at the washroom, but I'm finding difficult. That is saying, I'm not ready for that. Okay, so can we pray for those who are watching us? I pray God purpose this meeting. It is in the womb of God, and we thank God that we are doing it. If you are watching, I pray that your heart desire will come to pass. Let any sickness leave your body. Let God give you divine access. Whatever you've been waiting for so long a time, I decree that this week, next week, at most, you will get a testimony. Amen. Anything that God have to take away from your life to be blessed, may He take it away. Anything God have to bring in your life to be blessed, may God give it to you. Amen. God bless you in Jesus' name. Amen. Amen. And that was insightful. I trust you have been blessed. Called
at a very young age doing exploits for God. Apostle Frank Asari Nyamekye has been our guest for today. I'll see you same time on our next episode. Don't forget, your mind is the most powerful tool given to you by God. Make sure you don't waste it. I'll see you tomorrow. Till then, bye-bye.
January, February, March, April, May, June down to December. God, you've been so good. You've been so good. You've been so good. Count my blessings, name them one by one. You've been so good. I will not forget. I will not forget. I will not forget. You've been my lawyer, shelter, helper, provider, healer, helper, God. I will not forget. I will not forget. I will not forget. You are all I need. You are all I want, mighty God. January, February, March, April, May, June down to December.